Hey guys, Thrasher here. Today we're talking about the Masters Pack Summon banner. Now before we do, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure to hit that down below. Now let's get into it. Okay, so before we actually go into the banner as a whole, there is another way to spend on this banner rather than using your chrono crystals. You can use rare metals to spend on this banner. I recommend using all of the rare metals you can, because rare metals are much easier to replenish than chrono crystals, and there are top tier units in this banner. Regardless of their drop rate, you have a free currency that you can use to possibly get top tier units. Yes, the pull rate is not amazing on those top tier units, but it's possible, so it's already much better than using chrono crystals. So I highly recommend using all of those rare metals. Okay, now beyond the rare metals, let's look at the banner itself and figure out if it's worth it to actually spend chrono crystals on this and what I would rate this banner as. Let's go ahead and open up the Z power list. Normally we'd look at the featured characters, but there's so many sparking characters on this that it's not worth our time to scroll through them one by one. As you can see here, the sparking percent chance is still 5%. So rather than 5% split between 5 characters, it's 5% split between 16 characters. So you still have the same chance of getting a sparking character, but a much lower chance of getting any specific sparking character. So let's go ahead and break this down and figure out what's worth it, what's not. Okay, so this Super Saiyan Goku is still relevant, but not anywhere near top tier in the current meta. This sparking Vegeta is, I guess you could call him relevant. He's definitely not top tier. He's fallen off a lot. The same is true of Piccolo. Pikkon and Pan are completely not in the meta at all. Neither is Final Form Frieza or Ginyu. Neither is Gohan. And then Teen Trunks, there's some debate there as to whether he's in the meta or not. He's on the bubble for sure. I'm going to count him as not. So let's go ahead and start from the bottom here. And Super Trunks, Super Vegeta, Heart Virus Goku, and Krillin all in the meta for sure. That's 4 right there. 18 and 17 are both in the meta. That's 6. This Super Vegeta is actually very good, contrary to what some people believe, and then top tier players understand how good he is. So that's 7. So we'll say these 7 down here, and then definitely this Goku up here. So that's 8 characters that are in the meta that if you pull them, they should be able to help your team. So 50% of the units in here can help your team, assuming that you don't have them or they're only 2 stars or 3 stars. Now, which of these units are actually top tier where if you pull them you would definitely improve your team? So none of these ones up top, and we have to scroll down quite a bit to start seeing top tier units. Okay, so absolute top tier for certain is this 17, this Super Vegeta, and depending on who you ask, the Heart Virus Goku. Now, the Super Trunks is just below top tier. He's very high tier, as is Krillin. He's also very high tier. So, you have 2 units who are definitely top tier, so that's 2 out of 16, 1 out of 8, which is much lower than your average 1 out of 5 top tier units in a banner. And your high tier is really only 4 out of 16, which is 25%, which I would still say is considerably below your average banner. One more thing to mention is there are quite a few extreme units here, and the stats on these extreme units are getting pretty good. They are equivalent to the old school sparking units. So if you look at the stat spread on these, it's pretty close to a lot of these units up here, like the Pikkon and the Pan. Those units are essentially sparking units, but that doesn't make them meta viable characters. The Zarbon is amazing for his increase in vanishing step gauge, and the Dodoria has a pretty powerful attack swipe combo, but they are definitely not top tier. So back to what we were saying, with all of that taken into account, we've got about a 1 in 8 chance of pulling a top tier unit, a 1 in 4 chance of pulling a truly meta helpful unit, and then a 50% chance of pulling a meta viable unit. So I would say the chances are much lower than your average banner to pull a unit that you would care about, and they're extremely low to pull a unit that you really, really want. So in my opinion, this is a 2-star Dragon Ball banner. Make sure to spend all of your rare metals. Make sure to spend on dailies, because it's still worth it if you're getting a discount of some type to try and pull the Super Vegeta, to try and pull the 17, but do not pull full price on this banner. It is not worth it. You're going to be wasting your crystals unless you get extremely lucky, and the point of these reviews is not to worry about getting lucky. It's to try and make high probability plays here. So if you guys have any more questions about this banner, if you think I'm completely wrong, if you have some other type of commentary, make sure to throw it down in the comments and we'll talk about it. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.